Hello, I'm Ruth Francis, your beauty expert, and as you can see I'm half done at the moment. We're looking at a winter look, and it's all about the eyes, it's all about metallics and silvers and frosty looks, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do and how to create for yourself. Now, the main thing to remember is that when you get a frosty eye, it can then be all about getting that lovely black line just to sort of accentuate your eye shape and really make them kind of look cat-like. So start yourself off with, you don't even need more than one brush to actually start doing the colours, and then another brush just to do some kind of like darker areas. This is a great little palette because it's actually 3 metallic tones here. So you've got your silver, you've got like a charcoal grey, and then a lovely whitey silver as well. So we're going to start off with that. Always do the lightest colour that you're going to use on your eyes first, obviously, because if you are going to just use the one brush for blending, then you don't want to be putting too much of a darker colour up to the eyebrow. So that's the first thing that you need to think about. And then we're going to move on to the next sort of shade of silver to really go onto the eyelid here, and you can use the same brush. So this is really going to get that gorgeous sort of icy, frosty, metallic effect. So that's your silver eye, literally all over the eyelid. So now what we're going to go on to doing is the charcoal, which is a really gorgeous, still quite metallic effect on the eye. And this is really going to give you that kind of shaping that you're requiring. So just tap off any excess just to avoid it going onto your cheekbone. And then into the socket line with your darker charcoal grey colour. So that's really going to define your eye shape. And depending on sort of how big your eyes actually are, the shape of your eyes, if they're deep set or not, that kind of determines where you would go with your darker shading. And possibly just bring it a little bit down here onto the lash line, but we're going to actually look at some liquid liner, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing that just after this. And another one of my favourite ways of enhancing the eye shape but not looking too severe with very harsh lines is by using your rounded brush. So this is a very thin rounded end brush, and so sweeping that lovely charcoal dark shadow underneath the bottom lash lines and right along the whole length of the eye. So it will really give you some great definition. But what I've done to actually open up the eye a little bit more, I've gone back to using my blending brush and go back to using the lightest of your 3 tones. And this is great because, again, you don't have to have the precision. It doesn't matter if it goes a little bit over. Close your eye and just pop that on that inner corner there. So it just gives that lovely sort of sheen and just kind of opens up the eye from the inside. So now what we're going to move on to is the black liner. And what I've done with this, I've actually gone onto the inside of my lower lid. So just gently pulling the eye down. Now comes a bit that a lot of people find quite tricky, the liquid liner. Now this is a really fabulous dramatic way of getting your cat-like eyes, sort of giving you a nice flick at the edge. And on this eye here, I actually used this Glam Eyes Professional liquid liner. It's kind of like a little paintbrush. And the problem with this for people who haven't got a steady hand is that it can be quite difficult to use. So I have done that on this eye, but what I'm going to do on the other eye that you can see me working on is I'm going to use this precision liner. Now this is a similar kind of effect. It's more of a felt tip end, so it's not quite as flexible as the little paintbrush liquid liners. So this is a really, really kind of more sort of user-friendly way of getting your black liquid liner on. And don't be afraid to actually pull your eye as well, just to kind of make sure that you're getting it exactly where you want it. So kind of get an idea as to where you've come up on the side that you've done first. So I can see that it's literally coming up here. So I'm just going to pull my eye, allow my eye to relax, and I started about here. And you'll find that you may have to kind of go back over where You're closer to the lash line there. And then it's down to a fabulous slick of mascara. Now the Maybelline one that I use is the Colossal Lashes, mainly because I know that I have long lashes, but I want them to be thicker. And another lovely way of looking at a kind of wintry look is making the feature about your eyes. It's all frosty, it's all silvery, it looks really wintry and lovely. So you don't really want to go too overboard on the bronzers or the blushes. What I tend to try and do is go for a really sort of soft, natural pink, almost like a little rosy glow, just on the apples of the cheeks here, because you don't want to go too heavy with the makeup look. It's best to go for one main outstanding feature when you're doing your face, and it's all about the eyes. It's all about the silvery frosty effects on the eyes. So a little bit of a kind of soft pink. And then for the lips, again, I wouldn't go for a strong colour. It may look really overdone. And what I love from MAC is the lip gloss glosses that they do. Super long lasting, these, I find. So, you know, even if you haven't got a chance to kind of keep going back and going over your lip gloss throughout the day or throughout the evening, you don't need to do it as much, because it's actually got so much pigment in there. So that completes a perfect wintry makeup look.